Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Warren Brothers Sports Show here on the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network, here on YouTube.com. Good afternoon, everyone. And yet another wonderful Wednesday afternoon following yet another Browns loss in a row for the team. Yet another Cavaliers loss. That's 3 in a row for that team. Hey, the Indians aren't losing, but that's because they aren't playing. In fact, all of baseball season is over. Good thing there. Hey, the Blue Jackets lost too. Yeah, that's the Columbus hockey team. Bunch of losers. All losers. Losers. That's as Paul would say. It's too bad he's I don't know whatever the hell he's doing. He's in Pennsylvania somewhere. That's his claim. That's what he says is happening. So loss for the Browns in Denver. All sorts of things going on there. I haven't heard very many people blame the Haslams. So there's that, but plenty of blame going in Dorsey's direction. Plenty of blame for Freddie Kitchens. People are blaming the defensive coordinator. There's all 27 of the coaches, the entire coaching staff. Plenty of blame for each one of those guys. Plenty of blame to be given to the players themselves defensively. Plenty of guys to blame there, and on the offensive side of the ball, plenty of blame for each one of those guys. They're not throwing it to Beckham enough. They're not running Chubbs enough. Baker's just terrible. Everybody just sucks. Tired offense, tired defense for not getting to the quarterback enough. Nothing. Everything is going wrong for the Cleveland Browns. So let's go cut one guy because he said some ridiculously stupid nonsense on Twitter. And everything will be fine now. They'll just win 8 straight games and they'll make the Super Bowl because we cut Whitehead because he's a racist. He's a black guy who's a racist. Which happens. It's true. I don't really know if that's the narrative you want to have as the Cleveland Browns. I mean, we're so awful right now. We have former drug addict and one-time actor Macaulay Culkin making fun of Baker Mayfield on the social medias. That's actually a thing. Football is so terrible this year in Cleveland that Macaulay Culkin is making fun of Baker Mayfield. I don't know what's happening. We're living in the upside down. It's bizarro world. Actually, it feels like it's all. And you know what? It was fine when it was the joke that Baker looked like he was dressed like one of the bad guys from the movie. And quite frankly, he looked more like Daniel Stern's character, not Joe Pesci's character. Although he's probably not much taller than Pesci. And then the deal with it is, well, you know, Baker really just looks like a guy who's lived in Cleveland for 2 years. And then so right away you can just go, not that Macaulay Culkin's looking like he's really far into the recovery from drug addiction, but they just pull up that old photo of Macaulay Culkin when he was in the mires of drug addiction and he's got the coffee cup in his hand, or even go to when he had a guest role on a TV show and he's got the long hair. He looked like Cricket from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
You know what else? He's got a new line of Christmas socks.
Oh, it's socks?
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin Christmas socks.
So after you buy your Macaulay Culkin Christmas socks, you can go buy your Tommy Wiseau the room underpants. That's an actual real thing too. So, you know, there is that. So what else? We'll get into more Brown stuff because, you know, that's just what'll happen. Cowboys beat the Giants the other night, 37-18 on Monday Night Football. That's big for Paul, even though he's mired somewhere in Pennsylvania, because he's a huge Cowboys fan as of a year ago or something. We're not going to really get into the Ravens-Bengals or the Rams-Steelers games, but just know that that's what the rest of the AFC North will have for you this weekend. Cavs basketball-wise, played at home against the Celtics. Like I said, they lost again, as they tend to do. It was at home. It was against a better Celtics team than the Cavs are. And to lose only by 6, 119, 113. Baby steps, guys. Baby steps. You got the Wizards coming up on Friday night, and that's a winnable ball game. I'm probably not going to delve too deeply into the Cavs-Celtics thing, because the only real pseudo news was the fact that the kid Porter Jr., he's been coming off the bench for us. He was a draft pick in the middle of the first round, talented player, and he's getting his stuff together as a rookie coming off the bench. But he was suspended for one game, last night's game, because he ran.
They're called Happy Socks by Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, okay. So forget basketball for a minute. So Happy Socks by Macaulay Culkin, and apparently happiness is deeply rooted in ripping people for living in Cleveland for 2 years. That's. I mean, it should have just left it be. Macaulay Culkin. You know that's his full name. His middle name is Macaulay Culkin, so his full name is Macaulay Culkin. That's a fact. It's what his parents named him. No wonder he wanted to divorce his parents. The movie North is about his life. And it started his primal enemy, Elijah Wood. Wood. I don't know if it's singular or plural. It's what I do with Chubbs all the time. Oh, apparently Paul called me. Oh, I missed him. How did I miss him? Oh, probably because I got the audio turned down on the board. Maybe I couldn't hear it. I don't know. Let's try calling Paul back, as I know how vital his time is, since he's, trapped in Pennsylvania or some nonsense. Whatever's going with that. So let's just waste like 20 minutes on that bit once I go ahead and call him back. He literally just called. I don't know how I missed that. I've got the volume up. It's not up on there. I hear myself in my headphones, so that's not it either. Let's see. Click that button and it should call. And there we go. Paul calling. At least I hope it's Paul, unless he's doing some other bit that he hasn't told me about.
Yeah, your volume must be down. I normally can hear you better than I'm hearing. That's why I turned the TV volume off.
Hello, is this Paul?
Yes, this is Paul.
Oh, hi, Paul. This is Mark.
Yeah, I reached you, but your phone wasn't working.
What do you mean my phone wasn't working?
I tried ringing, and I don't know what happened.
Well, I mean, I missed the calls. That's why I called you. But, I mean, it rang or it wasn't working. Okay, or I just didn't answer. Fine. Maybe I didn't answer because I just missed them.
Yes.
Well, if that's what happened, it's what happened. Anyway, so apparently, do you have something important? Is that why you called?
Well, I'm in Punxsutawney right now. I'm at that cafe with Larry the cameraman.
So you've met up with a Larry the cameraman, and
yes.
The two of you are having lunch together in Punxsutawney.
Actually, 4.
There's 4 of you. Wait, are you all eating right now?
Yeah. Well, I had a little bit of something. Well, he invited us to breakfast with Phil and Rita.
So who are Phil and Rita?
Well, there's Phil Connors, who used to work at Channel 9 Pittsburgh, which is the job I'm trying to get in Pittsburgh right now.
Wait, so is this... So you'll be what?
So I'll be probably trying to get a gig in Pittsburgh, and the only team I'll root for is the Penguins.
What, getting a job doing what in Pittsburgh?
I'm going to be doing camera work.
Wait,
soundboard. One of the two.
Camera? Where? At this station?
Channel 9 in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so Channel 9 in Pittsburgh, and you're going to operate the soundboard and run camera. Those are 2 positions you've applied for, so maybe you'll get those jobs.
Yes.
Is this your way of saying that you no longer want to be employed at the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network?
Oh, no.
Oh, so you would keep both jobs?
I'll try to, yeah. But there's like other people who are getting this position. I don't know if I'm going to get this position. I'd like to get this position.
Well, you interview.
I like Cleveland.
Right. Uh-huh.
I interviewed with yesterday.
Oh, you interviewed yesterday. All right. Well, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And I told them I wanted to review more of other cities in Pennsylvania. One of them's Clearfield. Shout out to Clearfield, everyone. From all the people who's listening and watching from YouTube to Clearfield.
I doubt anyone's watching in Clearfield, but all right. I mean, it's part of your job on this station to promote the show. Have you told anyone in Clearfield that you were going to be on? Well, no, right. So, well, maybe they'll catch the rerun here.
Well, Larry, the cameraman, was actually generous to take me to Clearfield because I wanted to go see their cousins.
How did that go? Did you see them?
Yeah, we're going to be leaving this afternoon.
Okay.
There's a big snowstorm about to show up, and we want to dodge that blizzard.
Well, right. I'm familiar with the film Groundhog's Day, so yeah.
Yeah, well, Phil's still eating.
Yeah, I remember that scene too. Yeah, he's in Puxatawny, right? Huh?
Oh, somebody's shouting Phil's name. It's me, Ned Ryerson. Can I sit with you?
Oh, that Ned Ryerson guy is awfully loud.
Yeah, well, Ned and Phil are good friends, so he's going to have some of Phil's food.
Oh, that's nice. It must be awfully nice to be able to just spend a small fortune on breakfast every day, even though that wouldn't make sense continuity-wise.
Yeah, put that somewhere else there. Oh, somebody crashed some dishes.
Yeah. At this point, you're pretty much just reciting scenes from the movie.
Yeah, well, it's a great restaurant it's up by the town square of Punxsutawney. I recommend it. I'll give you the name of maybe a little bit later.
Yeah.
So Larry, the cameraman, is gonna be taking me to Clearfield soon, and it was great meeting you, Phil. It was great meeting you, Rita. I'm glad your relationship is actually going great.
Yeah, it was awfully rude of you to be on the phone with me while you're having lunch with other people. Now you're leaving them and you're still on the phone with me. You should probably get off the phone with me.
Well, Phil doesn't care.
Oh, that's nice that he doesn't care. Hey, this was an important piece of sports to me. I wanted to ask your opinion on it. So at Kent State, young man by the name of Kalen Bennett. Tonight he's a reserve, but he's going to play. He'll be the first Division I player with autism. What do you think of that?
That is interesting. Football, basketball, right?
This is in basketball. Kent State basketball player.
I think this would be a great opportunity for that. If he does real well, I'd like to see him in the NBA. I wish him luck. Maybe be on the Cavs. Have a first time, and that would make history for not only for Cavs but for the NBA as well, and be in Cleveland because
Well, he's actually from Alabama. Go ahead. What?
Well, you said Alabama, so it's probably going to be Atlanta.
It doesn't matter. I highly doubt Paul. He's a freshman who is currently a reserve at Kent State University. They only draft 20 people.
Right.
I don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you that we went from this great accomplishment that he's doing now to, well, he's going to be in the NBA. We don't know that. It's difficult enough for anybody to make the NBA. We just went. Let's applaud him for the great accomplishment that he's making tonight. And when hopefully Kent State creams Hiram, because they're playing Hiram University. I don't know a damn thing about Hiram's athletic programs. I think Uncle Joe went there.
Yeah, he did.
Yep. So I know they're known for their
university. They're a college.
Yeah, Hiram is a college.
Liberal arts college.
Yeah.
Garfield went to college there.
Who went to Hiram?
James Garfield.
James Garfield.
He was president of Hiram
The
College.
20th president of the United States, and the second president gets shot.
Yeah, that's you know what I know about him is he hated Mondays and he loves lasagna. That's the same guy, right?
Oh, really? No, that's
no.
Phil even said you're I'm gonna give you I'll give you Phil the phone. Hi, it's me, Phil. Phil Connors.
Oh, hey, Phil Connors. Hey, I was just talking about Garfield the cat. You know what I think? I really liked the comic strip and the cartoon where Lorenzo Music did his voice. But, man, those movies where Bill Murray did his voice, as big a Bill Murray fan as I am, when he did the voice of Garfield, it was only okay. What do you think, Phil Connors? What?
Yeah, here's what I think.
Uh-huh.
That was his biggest regret ever.
Yeah, I've heard that from Bill Murray, yeah. That's an actual thing.
Garfield wakes up on Monday, and then every day's Monday, and then he tries to eat himself to death with lasagna.
Then it wouldn't happen because he eats so much anyway.
And then he falls off a cliff, and then he's awake, and it's Monday again, and then he has a dog eat him, and then he's back, it's Monday again.
You know what? That's what they should have done. They should have made a third Garfield movie, but just made it Groundhog's Day, and it all happens to Garfield. How meta would that be? It would just be stupid, but it'd be funny because of, the Bill Murray connection.
Yeah, well, yes, they do this 9 times because
he's got 9 lives. Yeah, that's fair. It could be a short film. Yeah, I'd watch it, especially since I just made it up now.
Okay.
All right, so Phil Connors, was it?
Yes, Phil Connors.
All right, thank you very what?
And I'll hope to see Paul in Pittsburgh soon.
All right, yeah, best
back the phone.
Okay then. All right. So hey, Paul.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you have the phone back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have anything else? I hope your interview went well yesterday.
I hope so too.
Hey, when you do this call, what?
Yeah, well, when I do this call, what?
Yeah, could you try to not make it the first segment? Can we plan it that it's at 12:40?
I'll see what I can do.
I mean, you don't have to, because I mean, is your time frame 12 to 12:30?
No.
Okay. Listen, let's actually discuss it. What? No, it's just what?
Well, I just got to get going, so I don't know if my phone will be doing well. That's the reason.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're miraculously able to find a charger everywhere you go, though.
All right.
Okay. So
the cameraman has a charger.
Of course he does, right?
And he also had some tortilla chips.
Of course he's got tortilla chips, yes.
Those yesterday.
Yeah.
And we talked about Dilbert.
That's fine. That's all. Yeah.
Well, Larry says he's going to get going. He wants to get back to Pittsburgh before the blizzard. So.
Well, that's wonderful.
Talk to you later.
Okay, Paul. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, bye.
All right.
Bye. All right, that was Paul Warren, and he's in Pennsylvania. Should have made him tell me what the weather and traffic was. That would have been something. So anyway, that happened. That's your first segment of the show now, then. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to tell you what the traffic and weather is like right now before we get into football. Coming to you live from the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Center. Here to let you know that I have no idea what the traffic's like. I got curtains are shut. I'm not looking outside. I haven't looked outside pretty much all day. I have no interest in what the traffic is like. However, in the weather, it is 38 degrees and mostly cloudy. No, I'm sorry. It's mostly clear and partly cloudy. That's right. It said both things. That happened. So it's mostly clear and partly cloudy. We will reach a high of 48 degrees today. Tonight will be mostly cloudy. However, it's not like we're going to see it because it's going to be dark outside. In the news, there are reports that out of AOC's camps, they want to build a dome because of the hole in the ozone layer. People in AOC's camps, they're not concentration camps, they're AOC's camps. She wants her constituents want a dome built over the United States of America. That's right. So you would build a dome. Now the dome wouldn't just hover freely over the United States of America. No, you'd have to have support for the dome. And what would support this dome? I figure walls would. So, you'd go to the Pacific Ocean, you build a wall on that coast. You go to the Atlantic Ocean, you build a wall on that coast. So you got two walls, and then you definitely have to have a wall at the border. The Canadian border, you've got a wall there. So we got three walls, and I guess there'd be a fourth wall. There's four sides to the United States of America, fourth wall. I don't know where that wall would be. I think they might be planning on building one right now even. So make America a dome again. And that's in the news. That is actual news that I've made up, that I saw on Twitter. It's on Twitter. So also in the news, ABC anchor Amy Robach, and a story that got squashed 3 to 4 years ago by ABC News because it didn't have enough evidence to support the Epstein case. That's correct. So 3 or 4 years ago they were working on this, and since she had mentioned the name Clinton, Hillary Clinton was sure to get her ace spokesman out there, Benjamin Ghazi, to let everybody know that this story is balderdash. There's no way Bill Clinton would even have time to be involved with Bill Cosby and Jerry Sandusky and Jerry Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and none of them. Because there was no time. He was too busy covering up Vincent Foster's murder. There's no time to have gallivanting around with young girls. He was covering up a murder. So anyway, that's it from the old Brooklyn News Desk. Quick commercial, little reminder here for you. Go see Dave Hughes of This Guy's Painting. Call him at 440-715-3282 or message This Guy's Painting on Facebook. This Guy's Painting is a small local painting company. They will do interior as well as exterior work at reasonable prices. Plus, they are insured. Mention you heard it here from Mark Warren and receive a free estimate. Expect a quality job done by This Guy's Painting. Owned and operated by Dave Hughes. You can reach him at 440-715-3282. That phone number again is 440-715-3282. Or on the Facebook at This Guy's Painting. Don't forget, you receive a free estimate if you mention Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network, Warren Brothers Sports Show, Mark Warren, Paul Warren, the word Warren. Say Warren, and you receive a free estimate from Dave from This Guy's Painting. And nothing's free anymore, so that's a good thing to have. The guy's time is worth money, and he's giving you his time for free. So there's that. I'm going to lead off with football, as I do, as we all in this city do, because that's what we're obsessed with. Baseball accolades, men winning awards, basketball, things to be proud of. A young man with autism playing the first Division I basketball college game, the reaching heights that no other person with autism has yet to reach in the history of our times. The Cleveland Cavaliers playing hard-fought battles against teams better than them and staying in it and showing their mettle. Nope, we're going to talk about the crappy football team we have around here. Oh, and the terrible mismanagement and the bad play on the field, and we're going to blame the owner. Blame that guy because he's not even from here. He's Haslam and he's Bo Duncan around. We certainly have a lot of good guy, buddy boys, good old boys. Plenty of Alabama represented here in the Cleveland Browns. Might as well just call us Cleveland Browns South. A lot of Southern accents, white guys, and not machine guns. They don't have machine guns. Those are us Italians. It's the shotguns. We're gonna go hog hunting, hog calling, and bird whistling, moonshine. I just probably polish off a gallon of moonshine before they start every game. Drunks. So it's from ownership to your GM, and you got your head coach. Head coach is a fool, and his 25 assistant coaches, his 3 coordinators. There's literally a guy to coach 2 players each. I just think if we did that in our public school systems, actually probably failed just as badly as this Browns experiment is. These kids wouldn't be geniuses. They'd be dumber because they'd have one person that they know just as much as, teaching them nothing. And then we've got the players. Oh, geez, I didn't even mention the media in my ranting. Oh, they're to blame. So it's all Tony Grossi and Mary Kay Cabot with their stories and their questions and everything else. And then guys storming off during press conferences or wearing shoes that aren't right or visors that aren't right or pants that aren't right. At this point, old BJ will get in less trouble if he goes out there and plays nude. And he'll either get tackled less or a whole lot more, depending on which guy's doing the tackling, if you get what I'm saying. And so anyway, they just play nude tackle football. Naked guys tackling each other. Hey, so what you got thus far here with this Browns team here is that it is everyone's fault. Everyone. We no matter whom it is, because we've done a pretty good job thus far of finding partial blame to give people partially, but here it is at the end of it. It's not about blaming one person. You blame Haslam, but for all the people who think it's all solely Haslam, wrong. It's wrong. It's all solely Dorsey. No, it's not all solely Dorsey. You don't blame him the most. He deserves blame. Everyone deserves blame. It's all everyone's fault. Oh, we're mad at Freddie Kitchens. Relinquish the play calling. Fire him after 8 games. He's the wrong guy for I never liked this hire in the first place. Those are all going to be the same people that if the Browns make the playoffs in 2 years or next year, or if it happens even this year, oh, I'm so glad we hired Freddie. Blah, 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 blah. Now, one place where I was extremely wrong was thinking that other teams weren't as good as they are. I don't understand how the Ravens are 6-2 and just beat the Patriots. I don't get it, but I guess they're better than I thought they were. Same with the Steelers. Roethlisberger's done. They've got guys who aren't quite as good as they are. Oh, they still play like a team. Oh, and so these teams, these 2 are good examples. They're winning as teams in the NFL. Yeah, they're winning as teams, whereas your Cleveland Browns are losing, and it's they mention particular guy on the field, but they're losing as a just as these other teams are winning as full units and as full teams. The Browns are losing as a team. It is a well constructed, full out effort by everyone there to lose, and that's how they're losing, and they're doing it, and they're doing it as a team. Baker Mayfield's looking mediocre at best. Old BJ is playing fine, but there hasn't been the big play that everybody wants and expects. Landry's been okay. Chubbs has played well. I think this was the first time he was held under 100 yards in a game since pretty early in the season. He's rushed for over 100 yards a game in 6 of the 8 games that we've played, and so on and so forth. The defense has done exceptionally well against the pass. Can't stop the run for a lick of crap, but now I just want to remind everybody that this is WBBN, the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. The views and opinions of this show are not the same as those of ownership, but they're probably pretty much the same because I'm also the owner. Know that nepotism and cronyism will not stand here at the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network, even though that was my brother on the phone and my dad's chimed in. So nepotism. And so anyway, maybe I should look over here in case nothing so far. So with that all being said, this Cleveland Browns team, front lines played okay, linebackers are below mediocre. Everyone is played relatively mediocre to average, and it's why you're not winning games. The Broncos beat you on roughly 5 plays, and that's how they won. Long touchdown pass, long touchdown run, and you beat yourself. The Browns are a bunch of masturbators. They just beat themselves. And that's a parallel to the team. You got a bunch of individuals who are working together, and some of them, there's facets of it where there's teamwork involved, but they're not completely playing as a team together. Terry Pluto just wrote that in an article. Dad and I have been talking about it at length. It's true. You got a bunch of dudes who are wearing orange helmets. You got a bunch of dudes who look pretty good together for a few minutes on Sundays, not for a full 60. That's the caveat I keep putting in there, is they have yet to play outside of the Jets game and probably the Ravens game. You could technically say they didn't play a full 60 in that Ravens game, but they didn't stop offensively. They built up such a big lead that they were fine. Big problem that I have with the schedule that I'm just going to say is, so you've only played the one game in division so far, and you're still not playing another division game until week 10 when the Steelers come here. Like, our next game is at home against the Bills. So yet another outside of the division game. You played 3 out of the 4 that you were going to play against the NFC West this year. I personally don't like it. Not that it matters. Your record would probably still be the same anyway. But, you've got the Ravens playing the Bengals this weekend. They're still in division play. So on and so forth. I guess my last point to it is, and if you all wind up bringing up Brown stuff, or if anybody else wants to, and that's all fine too, is you lost to the Broncos. And we were all such jackasses. We were all such jerks. Everybody in that organization, everybody in the media, except probably Tony Grossi. But if he had just said it the right way, I wouldn't be mad at him. So, you just think you're going to go into Denver and win. That's how I felt for the most part. All you had to do was play a good game. And you did play a good game. Apparently, you got a guy who's playing with a broken hand, doesn't tell anybody he's got a broken hand. So when he's not making tackles out there, he looks like he's not trying, because he kind of wasn't trying because his hand was broken. And so a wonderful thing that social media is, he gets ripped apart by a handful of people. And instead of, answering in any sort of logical way, or not answering at all, he goes to, I'm going to murder you. How about we write that in blood, with weird responses. I don't care where you're at in your walk in life and things like that. The toughest, roughest dudes the most hardcore gangsters maybe talk that way. I know where I live. I know who I am. I'm not that guy. I don't really know any of those guys personally on a day-to-day basis. And if we walk past one another, he's not going to just say, hey, write that in blood, cracker. What? We walked past one another. I'm terribly sorry, sir, if I offended you. What? Who goes to Twitter when you're an athlete who's making hundreds of thousands of dollars and threatens to murder Justin Fox because he's an idiot? You're all idiots. Stop being dumb on Twitter, especially if you've got, your entire lives to think about. Don't make threats. Fine. You have your First Amendment rights. So technically, yeah, go ahead and make threats. But when you lose your job, kind of figure that, well, hey, they're well within their rights to fire me too, because I don't know, I said I was going to murder crackers. Bad call. Oh, seriously, though, Justin Fox sucks too. So I guess on that note, what I'll do is I'll give you a traffic and weather update, which isn't really much of an update, seeing as traffic is still the same. I don't know what it's like. I'm not looking outside. I got a window right there, and the shades are drawn. The blinds are shut. I'm not. Besides, there's a driveway there, so it wouldn't tell me anything about traffic anyhow. I could tell you if my neighbor was home. That'd be the extent of me knowing what traffic is today. In respects to, click on that, so that's ready. In respects to the weather, it is currently 38 degrees. Mostly clear, but partly cloudy. I'm pretty sure one implies the other, but for whatever reason, in my sources, when I searched it earlier today, it was sure to tell me both. That it is mostly clear and partly cloudy. Let's see. We will reach a high of 48 degrees today. 48 degrees here in early November. And tonight, it will be mostly cloudy, even though you won't be able to see it because it's going to be dark out. So it's mostly cloudy. How do you know? In the news, here from the old Brooklyn news desk, AOC supporters are strongly encouraging her to build the dome. That is correct. We will have a dome over the United States because the ozone layer has a hole in it, and all sorts of awful things are, plants are dying and cows are farting. Although if we keep the farts in the dome, then we'll all just be exposed to cow farts or something. I don't know. So, to make sure that this dome, because it's not like it's just going to float. It's not some floating dome held up by ever-running helicopters or something. You're going to need walls. So there's going to be a wall along the Pacific coast, a wall along the Atlantic coast, a very much-needed wall separating us from Canada. Because, screw the Canucks. Done with that. Don't let any of them in. And I guess you'd need a fourth wall. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But I think that fourth wall should be southern. It's going to be in a southern border area. So build the wall. Make the dome great again. Other bit of news is that Benjamin Ghazi is part of the cover-up in squashing ABC anchor Amy Robach's story. He's claiming...
I've got a news flash for you.
Well, let's interrupt this news with this news flash. Yes, executive producer Dad.
Okay, listen. Cyclist who flipped off Trump motorcade was local office in Virginia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so see, you get rewarded for doing crude things.
Oh, that's not the case. Otherwise, I'd have all sorts of accolades.
See, so that guy on Twitter, he didn't do anything wrong. He's famous now, see?
So he flicked off, well, I guess it depends on your timing, too, because if he had flicked off a motorcade 4 years ago, actually 24 years ago, he'd just be dead.
Yeah, so see, you get rewarded for bad behavior.
If you flick off the presidential motorcade in 1995, all of a sudden, the next time you go to drive your car, the brakes don't work. Coincidentally. Because Benjamin Ghazi wasn't behind that either.
She lost her job because of it.
Uh-huh.
but she now won a bid for local office in Virginia.
She used it as a platform to become what, like a city council person or dog catcher or trash man or whatever.
She got rewarded for bad behavior.
That's, oh, there's your breaking news.
Okay, sorry I interrupted.
You got no reason to be sorry. It's not an interruption. It was breaking news. So it works. It's if I can make it work, it works. It's a bit, it works. That was your breaking news from the old Brooklyn news recliner. Get out and play with Melody. My niece, Melody Bacha, has a YouTube channel. It's quite entertaining. Get out and play with Melody. If you have kids, nephews, or nieces, you're babysitting, or you just like to be entertained yourself, go to YouTube, find Get Out and Play with Melody. Sit back and enjoy. Even though it is kid-friendly, and I'm not just saying this because she's my niece, she's a little 8-year-old genius. It should almost sadden you if you went to school to learn how to film, because quite frankly, she's better than you'll ever be, and she never went to school for that nonsense. With that being said, click on the thing, so that's queued up and ready. There that is. Make sure you go and you find Get Out and Play with Melody. It's right here on the YouTube, which you're watching me on right now. Subscribe, share, like, click the bell for notifications, just as you should do with this show. But also do that with Get Out and Play with Melody. Let's see here. Going to baseball. Do baseball. Baseball for a hot minute. Frankie Lindor and Roberto Perez are not only both Gold Glovers, they are Platinum Glove Award winners. That is correct. The level above Gold Glove. These two men field their positions so well that they won the Gold and the Platinum Gloves. They are the best at fielding their positions. Frankie Lindor, of course, we see it all the time. Play after play. Very rarely does he get bit by the error bug. He commits less errors than most other players. He makes plays that most other players can't make. He's just an excellent shortstop. So enjoy him because he's going to be gone in 2 years. Maybe we'll trade him before that even too, you bunch of jerks. I know that's what you're thinking. Bet you that's what you're posting and putting. Like, oh, he's going to be good. Yeah. Even more, less likely we'll get him now. He won an award. Oh, we're so worried about things that will happen in the future. The Browns are the greatest team ever. They're going to the Super Bowl. They're 2-6. 8-0 starts now. Well, Frank will already be gone. Who cares if he won an award? And Roberto Perez, even more impressive with him, was he was your backup catcher for years here behind Yan Gomes. Now, of course, you dealt Yan Gomes and he wound up winning a World Series. Of all the guys, after we dealt him or let him leave in free agency, there's a big cleaning house. The 10 or so guys that left over this last off season, and with such an influx, that's another reason why the team salary dropped the way it did. You could have just gone and blown money, and you wouldn't have made up for all the salary that got lost from before that. And mind you, some of those were trades that were made, and Yan Gomes was one of them, and he's hoisting the World Series trophy over his head, and he played adequately. He played well. He was the backup catcher on that team. It's funny. He goes from being our starting catcher. The plan is for him to be the national starting catcher. He loses his job to former Oakland A's starting catcher Kurt Suzuki. As it shows a key component about the role of the catcher in Major League Baseball. It is the most important position in the major leagues, and that if you're good at it, there's a lot of guys who are good at it. There's really like 60 jobs, maybe 90 if you count like the third best guy on your team. The Indians have been able to do that in recent years. Is we had Jimenez too. We literally had 3 guys who could start the catcher in the major leagues. There's Gomes injury concerns and what have you. And because Roberto Perez proved himself to be good enough to be the starting catcher, that he gets the job, and in his first year in doing so, wins the Gold and Platinum Glove Awards. Sandy Alomar called it a few years ago in spring training. He said, this guy is good enough to be your everyday catcher. I That's no animosity towards Gomes. Injuries occur. They can hurt a guy's career. That's what's happened in Yan Gomes' case. He's always going to be one of my favorite ball players because he's always played the game the right way. He's always worked hard. Sandy Alomar Jr. knows it himself. He more or less lost his job because of injuries, and I think he hung on a couple last year somewhere else after the Indians were done with all of that. You can only get cortisone shots in your knees for so many years until you can't really work as a catcher anymore. And Sandy Alomar Jr. wasn't playing anywhere else. They have to kind of stick to be a DH or justify moving him to first. I think he still had Tommy then anyway. So Sandy Alomar Jr. understands that, but he can see the talent when he sees it. And he's like the Bernie Kosar of Major League Baseball catchers. Smart guy. So he knows what we have in Roberto Perez. We've all heard it plenty. Roberto Perez is a damn fine catcher, and the proof positive right here in him winning the gold and the platinum gloves. Silver Slugger is another thing. I don't think you have an Indians player. Santana would be close, but with the way first baseman hit in Major League Baseball, for as good as his numbers were, it might be third best amongst first basemen. It's a strange thing. There's this complaint about the finalists for the MVP because, of course, Mike Trout's in there, and he is every year. So he puts up MVP numbers every year. But there's this kid, Simeon, who plays shortstop for the A's, the Athletics. I forget who the third guy is. But the big outrage is that Simeon got in, and DJ LeMahieu of the New York Yankees is not a finalist for MVP. They have comparable numbers, and I don't know why it's Seaman with the A's and not and who has drawn the ire of all the LeMahieu fans. It's French Canadian, probably. Screw that guy. More reason to not vote him in. Hopefully that's it. Well, only New Yorkers in Toronto. Maybe Washington by way of Montreal. LeMahieu. DJ LeMahieu. What's the DJ stand for? I can't think of anything clever with DJ and Canada. So that'll end right there. But Simeon with the Athletics. For some reason, he's drawn the ire of all these baseball LeMahieu fans who feel as though should be DJ LeMahieu, who had played well with the Rockies in years past and really turned it around with New York, playing with the Yankees steroids, and now he's just this whole next level player. But none of my guys are in the MVP voting, so I don't really care. Or the MVP finalists in the American League are the last three guys. There's no Indians in there. I don't care. Just don't care. And the intriguing thing that was brought up about it was like Santana's got numbers just like these other two guys, and that means there's at least a half dozen other guys who have numbers better than all three of those guys. So why are we so concerned? So let's see here. If I want to do 5 more minutes of baseball, I should figure out what those 5 more minutes would be. And unfortunately, that was pretty much all I had on baseball. So if I get into football, that just means I'll continue to go in even further with football. And the only real football thing I had was the Cowboys defeating the Giants. But better to wrap up the football, and then I can get into basketball for almost 2 full segments, because I have just about that much. No, I don't. I'm lying to you if I tell you I have that much basketball. But football-wise, with the Cowboys defeating the Giants had a 12-3 lead. It's tied at 3 early in the game. Giants built it up to a 12-3 lead just before halftime. Cowboys quickly score a touchdown and a field goal, 13-12. 13-12 Cowboys at the half. Cowboys did not play a good first half of football, but they're better than the Giants. The Giants, it almost looks like the Giants are trying to lose. As opposed to the Browns, where they're just mediocre, the Giants just look like they don't want to win. The Browns are clueless. The Giants are willing
Can you
partners.
take a question from the floor?
Yes, a question from executive producer Dad.
Why do the Browns go to the shotgun so much?
Why do the Browns go to the shotgun so much?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, much of the NFL probably does at least half of their plays from the shotgun.
And what's the advantage to this team to do that as much as they do?
Well, not just for the Browns, but for all of the NFL. There's a handful of reasons why they do it. One is that they feel as though the quarterbacks nowadays aren't as good at doing 3, 5, 7-step drops and throwing passes. They figure if they just start right out of shotgun, they're ready to throw the ball, or they can hand it directly to the running back standing next to them instead of having to turn and hand it to him. I feel as though, and it's why I only ever really liked shotgun for passing situations, even though it's kind of a tell. You start 5 yards further back when you're out of the shotgun. So if you're running the ball, that's 5 more yards that your running back is running with the ball. When Nick Chubb rips off an 8-yard run, it's a 13-yard run because he ran it out of shotgun. And so, case in point with this whole move to shotgun too, is that it buys the quarterback slightly more time, which unless he likes holding the ball too long, Baker Mayfield, then if you've got, it takes longer for the defensive line and the blitzers, linebackers, safeties, even corners, whomever's blitzing, it takes them longer to get to the quarterback because the quarterback's already back there. He doesn't have to run around. So when a quarterback runs around after starting in shotgun, I feel as though that's a problem, most likely with the quarterback himself. And he's not the only one who does it. And I don't know why. I mean, like in terms, so with the Browns, it's because a lot of other teams do it. I think it would behoove the Browns to actually line your quarterback up under center a bit more often, because teams aren't doing it anymore. Every team has it so much simpler since guys like Cam Newton. You could even go as far back as your Michael Vicks, and when they got into the league and were running more plays out of shotgun. I mean, even Warren Moon, because of Jerry Glanville, that guy loved shotgun formation. And it was created all the way back in the 50s with the San Francisco 49ers. So the shotgun is something that people just love too much. They call the other one the pistol. And that's when the running back lines up in shotgun behind the quarterback. So he's like 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It just doesn't make sense to me to run out of the shotgun. But because all these head coaches think they're so smart, they're all smarter than each other, and we're going to keep the other team off guard by calling bad plays such as running it out of shotgun. And so the shotgun is done for those reasons. Give the quarterback more time to try to fool or trick defenses, and it really it winds up doing neither. It's supposed to give the quarterback more time.
That's what I just wondered if it was overused or not.
I would say overused, most certainly.
That was my opinion as well.
Now on over to the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Center. Traffic, I have no idea what the traffic's like. But all the curtains are drawn. I mean, it's right there. It's closed. So I don't know. Whereas with that's 2 weeks in a row I've done that. They're right next to each other on top of it. So, regarding the weather, though, it is 38 degrees, mostly clear. And where it's not clear, it's partly cloudy. Or where it's not clear, it's actually completely cloudy, but that only makes for partly cloudy. Currently have a high of 38 degrees. We will reach a high of 48 degrees later in the day. However, tonight it will be mostly cloudy, but so what? It's not like you'll be able to see the clouds tonight because it will be dark. In the news, AOC's constituents want her to build the dome. That's right, since the ozone layer has failed us, we should build a dome over the United States of America to keep us safe from all of the environmental hazards. All of those dastardly things that are happening.
Hey, what's up? No, but he wasn't there, but he said he got one. He was going to show it to me later. He hasn't been around. He's working 2 jobs now. He's got a job at Winterhurst. Diane recommended to him. He found out they were hiring, and so he's doing like Christmas prep stuff. And he's working there and at Trinity right now. But from what I understand,
I just want to remind everybody,
Jerry's not really
go to patreon.com. Patreon.com, Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network.
Oh, really?
Quality programming there. Shows such as this one being the Warren Brothers Sports Show.
Let's close the whole place down.
You can also catch our Sunday program, the Sunday Super Show Sausage Fest Spectacular Show. Revolves around the Cleveland Browns show that day.
Oh.
Oh, I did it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, back to it. Talk related, because sure, we do some talk here, but it's supposed to be geared towards sports. Apathetic afternoons will just be geared towards, I don't know. I don't care, whatever. As well as 2 more television type programming type things. One being Craptastic Shorts, where Paul and I make fun of short movies and cartoons or whatever we can get our hands on, and we just make comments over it. As well as Man vs. Booze, a fake reality show. So a reality show. Or, I mean, isn't all reality fake? No, I don't know. It's called Man vs. Booze.
Well,
and it's currently $4 per month at our Patreon page. That's right. Mitchell. Used to be $5 a month, now just $4 a month. Patreon.com. Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. Follow my daily Patreon-only blog. You can contribute yourself because you are now a producer, because you're giving me $4 a month. So you therefore can tell me what to put on the air. Also, I'd say you keep Paul off the streets, but he's wandering around Pennsylvania now. So who knows? Help a brother out, though. I'm that brother. He's one that you can't help out. $4 a month. $4 a monthly subscription. You spend more than $4 a day on stupid crap. So go to patreon.com, Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. So that's that for that. Going to basketball. We can get back to football. We can talk hockey later if you want. The Cleveland Cavaliers have lost 3 straight, 2 of which were at home. And sure, not all bad that the Cleveland Cavaliers are losing games at home to the Mavericks and the Celtics.
Well,
those teams are better than you.
Convenient facility. It's not that it's that bad.
That's the truth.
The area's not that
the Mavericks are better than you are.
I've been to that church and stuff.
That's all there is to it.
Facility. You know,
the Dallas Mavericks are a better team. They made that trade for Porzingis. Even though I was saddened to see him retire, Dirk's tired.
how
Gives
good
him
a
more playing time.
reputation
Not that he was playing a whole lot last year. Maybe about 12 to 17 minutes a game, whatever it was. Now you can focus on winning. It's not the Dirk Nowitzki farewell tour. It's about going out there and winning games for the Dallas Mavericks.
Well,
So good for them. And they're going to win. Sadly, the Cavs are. What does that put them at now? They're 2-5 overall. They're 2-2 at home and 0-3 on the road. So you haven't won on the road. You can change that up Friday against the Wizards, as the Wizards play tonight against the Pacers. And regardless of whichever team wins, the Wizards aren't much better than you are. Do they finally have a healthy John Wall? John Wall ever played a full season healthy? Is there other guy still around even? Which one's gone? Wasn't there a whole to-do regarding those two guys in the Wizards' backcourt wanted to be more drama than it was worth? Why are basketball players like bigger divas
from what I understand
than anything other than women who sing and are actually called divas? That's just about where it's at.
There's really not a demand.
But losing at home to the Celtics, that was the recent one. That was just last night. 119-113. Hayward finally showed up for the Celtics. Big deal that he was, and coming over in that trade with the Jazz. No, coming over as a free agent. Whoa. With the Utah Jazz.
Well, yeah.
And, yeah.
Right.
Took him 2 full seasons. One was completely rot and thrown away because of injury. And last year it was because Kyrie was hurt a lot, and it didn't matter because when he was on the floor, the Celtics were a worse team.
I just hope and pray that he
Brooklyn, that's what 1-4, isn't that all right?
Bothering people.
2-4, I think, right? So Kyrie, he worked here, and it worked because he had to work.
He doesn't have the
He played a full about 7 seasons here. I think people are forgetting Kyrie's now 30. That's about right. Isn't it? 29, 30. So you can make fun of all the things that you want. Basketball players don't have the kind of longevity that you want to give them. Kobe, Kevin Garnett, even towards the end there. LeBron. These guys hit about 35. They hit a wall. And LeBron's played in the NBA. That's 17 years now. 19. This is his 19th season. It's a long time to do anything. More than half of his life has been spent playing in the NBA.
Because that's
a filter.
How can you do that at church? Try to
Put
play
the-
games like that.
Put the curtain up, like Uncle Joe was saying to do.
And he did it all the time.
So the Celtics, despite an excellent
childish stuff.
first 6 minutes of the game,
Real childish.
Start of the game. looked like they were just going to demolish the Cavs. Cavs didn't give up. Cavs stayed in it. Cavs couldn't take a lead, though. Tristan Thompson did an excellent job. I had another double-double. It's probably going to average a double-double. Stay healthy. Same with Love. Actually be in a decent team. Actually win some ball games this year. Or if not, you're not going to lose them as horribly as you were last year. We'll get to be halftime. We'd be down 30, and I just shut the game off. I couldn't. It'd be 78 to 42 at halftime. I'm just tired. And last year was a long season. This year, fine, you might not wind up with as many W's as a result. Well, you see this team building and growing and doing it the right way, not just hoping that some one guy comes back and fixes everything. Now, with the difference between the Cavs being a playoff team and the Cavs being, what would it be? Actually going to the Eastern Conference Finals. The difference in that might be a guy. I doubt it'll be Bron. He'll come back at the very end of his career. He'll be like Lenny Wilkins. Come in just to be head coach / player. Even though he's already been head coach / player twice now, I think. Mike Brown was the figurehead. And then Tyronn Lue. More or less.
Congregation does have its own bylaws.
I don't know. You're sitting at 2-5. Still very early in the season. Don't go on some monumental losing skid. Get a win against Washington on Friday. Maybe I'll talk more about that on Friday. I'll wind up doing so much football
I mean, there's
stuff
all
on
this weird
Friday.
stuff going on right now, like I'm telling you about. Everybody's
Let's see
all
here.
into, you know,
Yeah,
prosperity.
you wound up losing that
nonsense,
game
having an
last night, 119,
experience.
113. Thompson,
You know,
19 points,
you think
13 boards.
everybody's
Colin
just kinda
Sexton,
concentrating
21
overnight.
points. Him in this like two guard,
And that's I'm not
shooting
putting
guard,
Pentecostals down.
another
I'm
guy who
saying
can bring the
that's
ball
not
down
who
the
I am.
court kind of position
know?
that he plays.
And
Even though
everybody's
Garland's your
just
man, he's your point guard. He's
yeah,
playing
that's
point
good
guard
news.
very well. It's good to have another facilitator. So you can get the ball to Love, you can get the ball to Thompson. Love's versatility is good, and I don't know. I mean,
You think they can maybe
the people are being a little rough and saying Osmond shouldn't even be in the league. I saw that. It's in Twitterverse.
Yeah.
I think it comes across from time to time.
Yeah.
If
at least for the sake
if
of
Chetty Osmond's good enough to be playing, should be a
they
reserve.
own that.
But honestly, it's your reserves that are keeping you in games. Clarkson, Dellavedova, Larry Nance Jr. You need these guys coming off the bench. They're what's helping you stay in and win ball games. But if you insert one of those guys in the starting lineup,
Right.
does that help you more? If Clarkson's starting and not
Well,
Osmond, now does that hurt your bench too much?
Between you and me,
What if Porter
well,
Jr.
you don't
steps into that role? Now,
nobody knows won't hurt him.
it wasn't fair with yesterday because he ran past a ref in Sunday's game and was suspended for Tuesday's game because he ran past a ref, ran too close to him, and bumped him. Now the ref's response. It's great watching the video and see the ref go flop worse than any of the players. They don't call it, but they do it themselves. It's amazing. I can't see Porter doing that on purpose. For what? What good would it do him even? It'd be like going to Twitter and saying you're going to murder crackers.
That's what that is.
So I don't know.
They already are.
And then so all those comparisons had to get made. Beeline's a better coach than Kitchens. Beeline keeps it in house, even though it was all asked by a bunch of media members. So it didn't stay in house because it happened right there on video, or so whatever. It's all the stuff that's not the game. And that's all anybody wants to talk about. Stuff that's not the thing. Hey, we've got the thing. We're doing the thing. Yeah, what about this other stuff? It doesn't really have to do with the actual thing. Can we talk about it? Well, no. It detracts from getting the thing done. Yeah, but if we talk about this other stuff that's loosely related to the thing, like it's part of the thing, it's not the thing though. But he bumped a ref and he tweeted some mean stuff to other guys who aren't even involved with the thing. But they talk about the thing. Well, yeah, but it's not throwing passes or catching passes or making dunks or the dunk not counting or whatever it is. It's not the thing. It's talking about stuff kind of around the thing, and that's basically just rumor and speculation at that point. Hey, but I love the rumor and speculation, yeah. And that's why I hate people. All of you, all people, can't stand you. Rumor, speculation. It's more important than actual stuff. Cleveland Cavaliers, they lost to the Celtics. Sexton was good.
The only thing I don't agree with.
Hey, Adrian. Well, what do you? Is the rumor more important to you? Is the speculation? Ooh, Whitehead. He went and he said he was going to murder crackers. Write it in blood, cracker. Let's have a blood oath, cracker. Is that worse than... And what does that even have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with anything. That's what everybody will talk about. Ooh, OBG and Jarvis Landry shoes. Ooh, let's talk about shoes. All about shoes. He had shoes on that weren't the right shoes. Let's talk about shoes. No. It's dumb. Stupid. People love that crap, though. That's all they'll talk about. The media will talk about it. I don't care about that, really, but you said you hated everyone. Hate's too strong a word. I don't out and out hate everyone. Maybe I shouldn't use superlatives such as that. When you say everyone, it sounds like everyone. Like everyone hates me on Epic Show. Nobody gets what I'm doing on Epic Show. Well, that's everybody and nobody. So obviously I must change something since it's. No, I do hate everyone. I mean that. So I said the right thing. I hate everyone. But I also like a lot of people, so I can like you and hate you at the same time. I don't think I ever said directly to you like, "Oh, Adrian, I just hate you," just because I hate everyone. Sure, you're part of everyone. It's not like I hate you directly. I just hate everyone. You didn't do anything to garner hate. But I hate you. But I like you too. And if you can't, understand how that works, I'll sit you down and explain it to you someday. Actually, that was it. That was the explanation right there. That should have been it. You should be able to get that. And if you don't get it, well, too bad. Let's see. See, I figured you'd get it. You're a smart cookie. You're not too dumb for a broad. Yeah. Smarts for a woman. I'm going to do this part here real quick just because I enjoy doing this part and because most of what you can hear anyway is my dad talking in the background.
But I said I wouldn't be looking for a new senior pastor yet. It's too soon. I thought you should have waited.
Also, I was hoping Adrian would hear my jokes. Shouldn't call them jokes because this is serious. It's the traffic and weather coming to you from the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Center. I gotta make sure I got the next song coming up. There we go.
And I'm sure they're all successful.
Thanks for joining the chat, Adrian. If anybody else out there wants to join the chat, or hey, Adrian. Oh, not that there is none. I have no idea what it is. All the curtains are drawn. Literally got a window right there. Of course, it looks out over to my neighbor's driveway, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, even if I had that open, I would maybe see their car, so I could tell you the traffic as to, what my neighbor is doing.
Thanks for calling me, letting me know.
Wait, when you answered that, did you say that after I said it or before? I'm trying to remember if you've been in my house. That's a weird thing. There's all these houses that are the same. You're in Old Brooklyn. I'm in Old Brooklyn. We all know. You can tell from the angle of this camera, just flat out. It's like where I'm looking. You can tell. There's no door right there. If there were a door right there, you'd know I'd be looking into my backyard. Anyway, weather. It's 38 degrees, mostly cloudy. You're listening all show. Oh, you're cleaning your carpet, huh? I know you haven't been. I didn't think you had been. You didn't live on the street. Ruthie lived across the street, though. So you've been in the neighborhood. If you've been in that house, you know this house. That house is like literally exactly the same. Just we got a larger upstairs. Right, there we go. I'm trying to explain how you would know exactly what my house is like, especially since I've never invited you over, and then you'd be stalking me. And if you've been in my house, it's even crazier. Vampires. They can only come in if you invite them in, though. That's why I never invite people in my house. Friday happened, though. Anyway, I doubt those people are vampires. They're old friends of mine. I mean, really old, like hundreds of years. Oh, they're vampires. Hey, so weather, 38 degrees, mostly clear, but partly cloudy, which only makes sense, contradicts each other. We will reach a high of 48 degrees today. Tonight will be mostly cloudy. Not like you'd be able to see that it's mostly cloudy because it's going to be dark outside. Let's see here. The fact that you finish my punchlines before I get to them, though. In the news, as you know, AOC and her constituents want a dome built. Build the dome. The ozone layer has failed us, so it is time to build the dome. Now, the only problem with building the dome is that it's not like the dome would be able to just float there as if in space. So you're going to have to build walls, right? So on the West Coast, you have a wall dividing, built on the coast, divide the ocean off. And then you're going to build a wall, keeping the Atlantic coast from coming in and tsunamis that come off the coast there, because I'm sure that's a belief that she has. And her constituents, at least certainly do. I mean, her constituents want you to eat babies. And so, building a dome makes sense. Not the thing I wanted to do. Damn it. Just the one time. There it is. All right. So, and I'm all for this part. is we need to build a dome. John McAfee have anything to do with it? Who's John McAfee? John McAfee, the punter? So anyway, build a dome at the border where it needs to be built. Canada, the Canadian border. Don't let them in. They got bacon wrong. That's just ham. It's not Canadian bacon. It's ham. Yeah, Pat McAfee. Who the hell's John McAfee? Tell me what your John McAfee thing is. I don't remember saying John McAfee. And of course, I guess you'd have to build a fourth wall. I think they're in talks of at least starting it. I guess that's just the start of the dome project. So when the dome gets built in 10 years, you got the first wall at least done during this administration. The guy who made the McAfee security, like on your comp, my comparison, on my computer. Who's running for president? What does he have to do with AOC though? Is he the one who's building the dome? Is that something they're in? Is that where it is? It comes from the McAfee thing. He's behind the dome. Well, maybe that's how he's gonna just float up there with his computer generated dome. I don't know. Just telling you. I figured you need walls. So that's the news from the old Brooklyn news desk. I had this other one too. ABC anchor Amy Robach and that Hillary Clinton's own personal press secretary, Benjamin Ghazi. He's gone and said that her story, Amy Robach's story, is complete balderdash. There's no way that Bill Clinton was involved with Jerry Sandusky and Bill Cosby and Jeffrey Epstein, and them all being on prostitute Lolita Express Island plane jet and all that stuff. It's complete balderdash. Bill Clinton was far too busy to be flying around and getting young girls to touch him. He was far too busy covering up Vincent Foster's murder. That's what was happening. So at some point I'll look up John McAfee, billionaire computer guy who's internationally wanted for murder and apparently wants to help AOC build the dome. That's right, make America domed again. Never was. So here's the story that's near and dear to my heart, and this is what I think is the best sports story of the day, of the year. I'll give it that much because this is important to me. So since it's important to me, screw what anybody else thinks or feels or whatever objective reasoning they might have. Cubs win a World Series for the first time in 100 years. Screw that. I'm giving this story of the decade. Kent State University, a young man by the name of Kalen Bennett. He's from Arkansas or Alabama, one or the other. I had it, and I forgot. I was going to say the wrong one. Either way, it's all the same to me. Screw it. It's whatever. Bunch of hicks. So he's a 6'11", autistic man. He's 18, 19 years old. And tonight, when he steps on the court, he's a reserve basketball player at Kent State University. When he steps on the court, he will be the first Division I basketball player with autism to play college Division I basketball. Just flat out. It's slightly redundant there, but facts are facts. The young man, Kalen Bennett at Kent State University. He will be the first autistic man to play Division I basketball, any Division I sport, in the college ranks. And I think that's an impressive thing. Kid's 6'10", 6'11". He was a starter in high school at his high school. You know what? Here's where we'll fix it, because I had it on reserve right here. So I could reference the actual story for when I forgot it. Because I only write so much on my note cards, because it says it's a story out of Kent, Ohio. But made history. There's different reports too. Some say he's 6'11", some 6'10". I guess it depends on which pair of shoes he's wearing at the time. So just by being dressed and ready to play, he's the first person to sign a national letter of intent with a D1 school. And this is what's key. Directly from his head coach in high school, Clarence Finley. And of course, it doesn't say the state on this one. It is Arkansas. Did I even say that one? I think that's part of why I was appalled, because it's Arkansas. And if Hillary Clinton were still a DA down there, she just would have had him murdered. It's a good thing the Clintons got out of Arkansas before the 2000s. See, there's Adrian being the excellent intern that she is. She looked it up. Arkansas. I had a feeling it was Arkansas. This is what Kalen Bennett's head coach said. We held him accountable on the court. We held him accountable in the classroom. And I think that's what made him so super. Head coach Clarence Finley is high school basketball coach. That is a key point to autism. And I tell you this all the time. This is my older brother, Paul, who's a fixture on this show. He is this show. We call it the Warren Brothers Sports Show. Sure, I'm the host because I know more about sports. But it wouldn't be a show without him. Now that he's out in Pennsylvania, roaming the countryside, whatever the hell he's doing. He just had lunch with characters from Groundhog's Day, whatever. He's a brilliant dude. This kid is a great basketball player. It's just as much about the autism as it isn't about the autism, because he's no different, even though he is different. It's not about a babying him, but it's not about a treating him differently as if he's greater than. He's a guy. He wants to play a sport. He's a guy. He wants to co-host a show. And he's a good writer. He wants to be a writer. All right. This is what the guys who play basketball do. You're going to do it with them. All right. We're all basketball players. Autism or no. What autism does in a really cool way, in which it's different, is it gets you to hone a skill in an exceptional manner. Now, I try to get Paul to explain that, and he does an all right job of it. I tried to get him to do that when we covered the story of the young man who's autistic and playing high school football. So when it comes to sports coverage, that's not Paul's autism strength. But with this young man who's playing basketball, just as Paul is with his historical knowledge, that's the one where his autism shines through, or even his writing ability, his story creating. Is Epic can attest to. He loves Paul's storytelling, whatever it is that Paul's got going on. And then with that being said, same with this kid playing basketball. He is going to be a damn fine basketball player, partially because of the autism. It's a different kind of thing. And I guess that's the best I can explain it. I'm not going to get all preachy, tell you how you should be with people who are autistic. Like, you got to, be good or something like that, but don't be a jerk. That's pretty much how it is in every way of life, except politicians. Make fun of politicians. They suck. I mean, if you want to get into politics, there's something wrong with you. All right. This segment brought to you by Llama Organic E-Cigarettes. Llama Organic E-Cigarettes. They're like e-cigarettes, but they were around beforehand. SpongeBob has a song about that. Don't be a jerk. Yeah, as I go to SpongeBob for information I need. I don't know. This is the time where I could have used Paul to call in, but he's apparently he's driving over to Cloverfield or Clearfield or Battlefield or somewhere in Pennsylvania. We have family there. His claim is that he's going to go visit them. It's all part of his storytelling. We know he's not. He's making Christmas trees at Wintergreen. That's no story to him. You can't make that a story. You can't talk about your second job being interesting. You can't turn that into something. You have to do a complete made up thing. Man, I really thought I'd have about 10 more minutes on basketball. But that was about it. So I guess I'll just do a little hockey real fast. Hockey was the last thing. That team sucks too. Columbus Blue Jackets lost last night to the Vegas Golden Knights. 2-1 loss. All I saw was that it was a loss. If it was an overtime loss, at least they got a point. It doesn't really say. Oh, hey, yeah, Bruins fan there. Hi, Adrian. They're actually good this year too, aren't they? I don't know. I glanced at hockey standings. I barely even looked at NBA standings. I just know that the Lakers and Celtics both haven't lost a game since opening night. They lost that first game of the season to whomever they played, and since then they're like 6-0 or whatever it is. So there you go. Just probably Celtics Lakers again. I think Paul predicted that even before he got lost in Pennsylvania's countryside, thrown in some guy's trunk and wherever else it's gone since then. He just had lunch with a guy named Phil Connors. Since I had brought up Hiram College, 11-2-2 is the Bruins record. It's really good. So Kent State is playing Hiram. That's what the basketball game is tonight. There's a nice little connection there. My Uncle Joe graduated from Hiram University, Kent State, my parents' alma mater. This young man with autism is playing at Kent State. My brother has autism. All sorts of connections. Has nothing to do with me, apparently, though. Not me personally. However, it's just a really cool story. So if you like it, good. If you didn't like it, screw you. I don't care. Let's see. So yeah, that's with hockey, basketball. The Browns suck. Everything sports wise sucks. All the good stuff that's happening in baseball. And guess what? It's 48 degrees outside, so they aren't playing. Can we make baseball an all year round sport? Like legitimately? Let's just play in the South a lot. Out west, Southwest. Not just Arizona Fall League. Let's start spring training in the winter. Call it winter training. Have pitchers and catchers report on Christmas instead of Valentine's Day. Just make baseball the all-year sport. It's already at least 8 months long, close to 9. Basketball's close to it. It's almost that long. Football, that's what really pisses me off. Football lasts 6 months, tops, from training camp to preseason games, the season, the playoffs. 6 months, in, out, done. July to the end of January. So February, whatever. That's it. That's football half the year. It's treated like a year-round sport. You have jerks who are already putting up their mock drafts for next year. Oh, we thought the Browns were going to be good this year. Oh, nope, mock draft time. Who are we going to draft? Hey, you think we should take a quarterback with our first pick? Funny stuff. It's great. So good. Lousy Browns, 2-6. Organizations in turmoil. Can't play on the damn field. Got clowns on their shoes, wearing clown shoes. I don't know if that's a metaphor or not, but it works for old BJ. Browns fans have no more patience left. They never had patience. There was never patience. It's not even patience. I'm still patient. But if you had them at better than 10-6 tops this year, there's a difference between being patient and being disillusional. Dad had it right. He said 500. They might not even be that good. If you put it on the coefficient scale, somewhere between 7-9 and 10-6, somewhere between where they were last year, because they made enough key changes that you're not just going to be that good overnight. Plus, I don't think we factored in completely how good the NFC West was. You knew you were going to play the Patriots this year. Apparently the Bills are good again, so that's not just a gimme. You went into Denver less prepared this year than you were last year. I'd say it's the preparation thing. Like you're just going to win every game on paper, or you're going to win every game with a controller in your hands. Like it's just Madden. Fairweather fans. Wait, which thing do you and I both know and the Fairweather fans don't know? Oh, is that like 8-8 would have been an improvement and, would have been normal, and like 9-7. Like if you were shooting past 9-7, Or like the 13-3s and 14-2s and 12-4s. Who were you? What was wrong with those people? How high were you? I want those drugs. I want to be that delusional. See, but that's the problem with being that delusional, is because then the come down is so much worse. They're the heroin addicts of Browns fans. They get so high. We're going to be 14-2. And then when we're 2-6, they're like, oh my God, I should kill myself. We are going to die. I need more 14-2. Whereas most of us were like, yeah, 2-6. Yeah, so I had us at 3-5. So I mean, I'm a little disappointed. Let me just grab another beer. I'll be fine, I guess. And just roll a joint. The boycotting. Who boycotts? You know what's bad is us real fans are probably the ones who at this point are the most disgusted. Like, I know I'll watch every Sunday, but I was the kind of dude who had season tickets, would have gone to a game or two. But like, it's the fair weathers. It's what I don't understand. It would never work in any actual business model, and it's working for the Browns technically. I keep not smoking it, so it keeps going out. That's all I need to get through the rest of the show anyway. I don't know. I'm tired of it with these Browns fans. And like, I'm not even upset when it comes to the pseudo Browns fan is different than the fair weather or bandwagon fan. And in the pseudo fan, that's like people who are, you know, abreast of the team. They like following what's going on. They'll cheer for them, and that kind of stuff. And that's a lot of people. It's the people who, once it looks like they're going to be good, they want to be able to jump on and say, yeah, they're going to be good. They're the people who do the big drugs, and they're only doing it because their friends are doing it. And they're not even their friends. It's because like the one kid that they think looks cool is doing it. That guy's not cool. Okay, so he wears sunglasses. Sunglasses don't make you cool. You're wearing sunglasses. That's all. Like, my goodness. That's all it took. I mean, how many of us didn't realize it back in high school? And since, you know, if we got to know the cool kids kind of, and most of them even knew it was appearance and all of that kind of stuff, is that it was all the other like 70% of us that didn't really like give a shit. That was what was cool because it was cool. We didn't have to express that it was cool because we were cool and it was cool. So who gave a shit? It didn't matter. And it doesn't matter now. You're not cool because you're the guy running around on the field like a jackass. That doesn't make you cool. You're not cool because you're the guy who bought the jersey that the guy on the field's wearing. That doesn't matter. That's just you trying to be somebody that you're not because you're nobody. That's the problem with most of those people. Most of those people have no identity. So they have to put a little D or a little R or a guy's jersey with a name on it. All that stuff. You know the jersey I want? I want a Gerard Warren jersey because it says Warren on the back. He's an actual Browns player from like almost 20 years ago at this point. Probably find it somewhere for $20. If I got up the gumption to order it on eBay, if I could find like a double XL, I'm a big dude. XL probably wouldn't fit. That's the jersey I want because it says my name on the back, and I don't have to have a custom made one. There are a bunch of followers, a bunch of sheep, but that's all you need. Niche marketing has become such a big deal. You get that little 30% of people, that little 15% of people, because, you know, out of that 30%, half of them are going to just hate you regardless. Then that other half, oh, they'll love you. Oh, you're mini demigods. That whole 70% we're considered apathetic. We're treated as if we don't care. It's because we know what the truth is. The truth is that it doesn't matter. It's just football. It's literally just a game. My life will not be better or be worse if the Indians or Browns win or lose or any of that stuff. Ultimately, none of it really matters. That is all it comes down to. And I hope you're okay with that, because that's how it is in almost everything. in this world, your day-to-day life, the world stuff. What your boss thinks, what your coworkers thinks, even your friends, even your loved ones. Yes, it matters to a point. It only matters so much. So, with that being said, I should probably tell you what the meaningless traffic is, because it doesn't matter anyway. The traffic is, I have no idea what the traffic is. That's the window I look out of is my neighbor's driveway. I didn't see any traffic there. Weather-wise, it's 38 degrees right now, mostly cloudy and partly clear. So it is mostly clear and partly cloudy. We will reach a high of 48 degrees. Tonight, it will be mostly cloudy, which doesn't really matter since it also will be dark. In the news, in building the dome, however much involvement this McAfee computer fella has in it, or AOC, they want a dome built because the ozone layer is no longer doing its job. We need a dome, see-through dome over the United States. People won't, be harmed by UV rays, and their vegetables will grow nice, and we'll kill all the cows, and everything will be fine. But to keep this dome from crashing in on everyone, we're going to need walls. So along the Atlantic Ocean, we're going to have a wall. Along the Pacific Ocean, we're going to have a wall. Over Canada, got a wall. We got a wall. All those walls. There may be a fourth wall. I don't know. I think the current administration is working on building a wall on that border. So we should be fine then with the dome. Another 20 years. Oh, well, I'll be dead in 12 anyway. So sooner we get that dome done, better off we'll be. Also, Hillary Clinton has sent her main henchman, her main spokesperson, Benjamin Ghazi, out to vanquish the reports of ABC anchorwoman Amy Robach. She has claimed that the Jeffrey Epstein story was murdered long before Jeffrey Epstein himself was, because once Bill Clinton was mentioned in the report, it just got squashed by ABC News. And Benjamin Ghazi is saying, hey, that's all balderdash. The Jerry Sandusky and Bill Cosby, Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein connection. Why, none of that ever even happened. There was no way they were on the little Lolita Express to Fire Island or any of that. They were all too busy covering up Vincent Foster's murder to go party with young girls. Actual quote from Benjamin Ghazi right there. He's the assistant to Hugh Jackson, who is the assistant to the sheriff in Avon Lake. That's currently the pecking order of all of it. If you don't like it, screw you. I don't know. I found it funny. No commercial, really. Just back into the last 20 minutes of the show. Adrian bleeds brown and orange. Go see a doctor. It's blue inside you, red when it is exposed to oxygen. If your blood is orange, that's kind of close to red, so it's probably not all bad. However, if it is brown, maybe you're confusing your blood with poop. If your poop is brown and orange, that's close to normal. Maybe you've just had a lot of carrots lately, and you are not an alien, unless you are from a different place, and you now live here, and that's fine, so long as it's legally. Should have built the wall sooner, especially if you're from Canada, because screw you if you're from Canada. Oh, I mean, what did they ever do for us? Norm Macdonald, and that's it. Rush? Nah. Rick Moranis? I could have done without Rick Moranis. What is Canada? Hockey? Keep hockey. We finally got a team in Ohio that stayed here. They're in Columbus, and they suck. Thanks, hockey. Thanks, Canada. Screw you, Canada. That's what I say. Anyway. So, speaking about poop, what did you get out in the end? What came out at the end? What's in the end? What's no longer in the end? Here we're at the end. This is the end. The end of the show, my friend. The end. What did you get out? What's coming out of the end? I should remember where I wrote that down and put it. It's going to be the name of the last segment. It's better than putting a bow on it. Nailed it. You should just call it nailed it. Or go screw yourself. Traffic sucks. Yeah. Why, are you out in it? Do you even drive? You drive, don't you? Yeah, you drive. Of course you drive. I know you drive. So if you're out in traffic, that's why you should listen to the show. Just get your friends to listen. You're a good intern. Start getting on the PR end of it. You have friends. You got more friends than I do. And I mean, I hate you. Yeah, you're not out in it. Okay. Let's see. So, I don't know. Blame the entire Browns organization. Everybody. When we could talk piece by piece. Baker's stats. 27 of 42. A touchdown pass. And RJ's got a show? See what you're talking about? You barely advertise RJ shows. You're trying to tell people about mine. I expect you to tell people about your husband's more. You haven't told me about his. Hopefully you've told him about mine. Otherwise, you're just failing all of us. Although that's weird. So hey, anyway, to each their own. You guys are already focused on Myles Garrett. Anyhow, let's see here. I was going somewhere with that. Yeah. So Baker put up decent numbers. But we didn't get the ball in the end zone. We lost as a team in the fact that you got the ball into the red zone 4 times. 4 times. No, 5 times. You got the ball into the red zone 5 times. A touchdown and 3 field goals. You failed to put points on the board one of those 5 times. That means 1 out of the 5 times you got into the red zone, you didn't even score. 4 out of the 5 times in the red zone, you didn't score touchdowns. Fine, the Broncos are a good defense. Actually, the Broncos are one of the best defenses in the league, and it's because of that. Because they have that bend but don't break defense that the Browns had in the 80s. Was it early 90s too? No, probably not. It was more of the Marty Schottenheimer defense. Teams could drive downfield on you. They'd pick up 60 yards. That's good. That's fine. They wouldn't score touchdowns. They'd score field goals. They'd have to settle. So if you could just score 2 or 3 touchdowns in a game, you've won the game. Oftentimes. Very rarely was it that a Schottenheimer Browns team lost games. Schottenheimer Chargers team. Schottenheimer Chiefs team. Can't say enough about can't really say anything about the Schottenheimer Redskins team. It was the 1 year. Not enough of a sample size. I don't know. Marty Schottenheimer was not going to let you score touchdowns on his defense. His defense was going to keep you from scoring touchdowns. You could rack up some yards, but you weren't going to score touchdowns. That's what this Broncos defense does. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It just so happened they had more offense on enough plays than we did. We gave up touchdowns. The Broncos did not. They kept us to field goals. That's how they won. It's that simple. That's what's tough is now, in a 24-hour news network day, what I've said in 5 minutes and what I've been able to cover in about 15 total Browns talk wise. That's not enough to cover a full week, man. We got to talk about Whitehead being a racist. We got to talk about guys wearing shoes. Baker looking like he belongs on the set of Home Alone 5, whatever it would be that we're at now. That Macaulay Culkin can't just make a funny joke. He's got to go and make fun of the entire city of Cleveland. Way to go, idiot. Douchebag. Especially when Macaulay Culkin looks like he could still probably use a few more months of drug rehab. You're not completely out of the woods yet, dude. Not there. And he's got that picture of him holding the paint, saying, "Yeah, Baker, come at me, bro." He's huffing those paints in between tweets. Okay, you took the picture? Yeah! That's why there's no picture of him on the next one. Because he's all high on paint fumes. Saying, yeah, probably because he lives in Cleveland. Blah. He got paint all on his face. He's been eating the paint. His tongue is whatever color the paint was. He eats paint chips. Like when he's just wanting a snack around the house, he actually takes paint, sticks it in the oven for 45 minutes. No, probably the microwave. That's where the mac and cheese is. He's got some mac and cheese. And on the side, he's got some paint chips. Delicious. Screw you, Macaulay Culkin. And screw you too, Baker Mayfield and Tony Grossi. All of you. Screw all of you. You're a bunch of idiots and jerks. So, hey, there's my Browns take. Fire Freddie Kitchens. Fire Dorsey. All of these things. Beeline's the best coach in Cleveland because you forgot about Francona, because you don't care, because you're idiots. Well, they didn't make the playoffs. Got two of the best players defensively at their positions, respectively. Well, I don't know. There's only two of them. There's 7 other guys. 7 other positions. No gold or platinum award-winning outfielders. You've got 45 outfielders, for crying out loud, in all of the American League. One of your guys is going to be that good. Now, I don't know. You could add numbers to that, quite frankly, because you had, 6 outfielders here on the Indians who would qualify for the award. I enjoy statistics. I do. There's certain ones in there where it gets too in-depth. Like, and they talk about when Callaway is targeted, Baker Mayfield's quarterback rating is so much lower than it is when he's throwing to other guys. So obviously you shouldn't throw to Callaway anymore because Callaway makes him worse, or whatever it is. It's exhausting when you see some of the stats. It's some of them are legitimate in the baseball ones. It's like you've had to have had so many games played and so many balls hit to you to qualify for this award, so many plate appearances to qualify for this award. Because otherwise you could be a guy who's had 20 at bats and you got 10 hits and 9 of them were homers. And it's like, well, yeah, that guy's the best hitter ever. Look at those numbers. Well, it's based on 20 at bats and 20 plate appearances. Wow, still those percentages, 500 and the OPS over 1,000. It's honestly with 9 home runs out of his 10 hits, it'd be, I think the highest it can be is 4,000. His would be around 2,000. I was trying to do the math real quick in my head. That's one for Arthur Kinney, who didn't call in today. Not that it matters. It's how much baseball stuff you're going to do right about now. And if he had called in, I probably just would have been really sarcastic and asking him all about current stuff. I didn't even bring up how the Chargers are speculated to be moving to England, London, Gay Perry.
Oh, is London calling?
No. If they were, I'd put them on hold. Especially if it's a collect call, then I'm just not answering. London's calling. I think that's all I can reference there. So there's that rumor. I mean, they literally just moved from San Diego. Why would they move again from LA? And one local guy did bring up a good point. They literally are just finishing the stadium they're building for them, that the owner paid heavily into having built. So his expletive laden tweet, or at least response to whomever asked him that stupid question in LA's media, LA media. Jeez. It's another reason why, like, I might not like the way Tony Grossi structures a question, but it's not like he's just out and out a total D. At least it's not New York, LA, or Boston. I'm glad we're in the market we're in for that, because at least it's just poor syntax. At least here it's guys who don't know how to talk words good. You seem to show a lack of urgency. What up with that? Were you happy with the results? You know, when you didn't score? Were you happy? Or even the other local guy, because he pressed it and his claim, and this goes all the way back to the first week of the season. I forget if it was, I think it was Mark Schwab, maybe it was Daryl Ryder. It doesn't really matter because they both look like the same dude, generic white guy who looks like they're both 5'4". They don't look like they could have even sniffed a football field. Well, they probably sniffed plenty of football players. They're probably like the equipment managers on their high school teams and their college teams, and they get the jock straps. They'd be like, yeah, sniffing them. And they're just weirdos and perverts and don't get why they love the sport because they're around it for all the wrong reasons. And it's like, do you think if you had played together more in the preseason, you wouldn't have some of the problems that you're having here in the regular season opener? And it's true. But sometimes like a question is asked and the guy doesn't want to answer that question right now. And it seems like it's there. We already know the answer. Why ask a question you already know just because you need to have Jarvis Landry tell you the answer? You need that. Go to the head coach. Ask that guy that question. That's the guy to ask that question. Keep asking these players the questions you need to ask the coaches. So just as much as the coaches aren't holding the players accountable, the press isn't holding the coaches accountable. They're going to the players. It's not the press's job to hold the players accountable. They need to hold the coaches accountable because then maybe that's what will light the fire under these idiot coaches' asses because the GM and the ownership aren't holding the coaches accountable. So the coaches, if they're held accountable by the media, and no one holds the media accountable, they can do whatever the hell they want. And so if they hold the coaches accountable, then the coaches can hold the players accountable. There we go. I figured it all out. Play that back to me sometime, and we'll play it for somebody who actually matters. So basically, you go to the wide receiver who he can't just fix everything. You know, whoa, you should have played more, huh? Well, I would have liked to have played more. That wasn't the plan. So you should have played more, huh? You can ask the question 3 to 5 times. And I watched the clip. So when he lies to me directly on Twitter, whichever one it was, I think it's Mark Schwab, maybe it's Daryl Ryder. Again, like I said, these guys all look like they'd be better suited for searching for a ring and then hiding it from Voldemort or Mulderflarv or the little guy is like, Precious. They look like the guy who's the Precious. They're ugly, stupid cretins. Our media, yeah. So anyway, they're not good looking like me, is my main point. So you got our local guys who are asking the questions of the guys who are just, that would be like, okay, so wherever you work, if you work for someone else and everything is done the way that it is at work, and a customer comes up to you and asks, hey, so you got these plant-based burgers and you're putting them in next to the fresh meat. Well, I don't understand that. Why are you doing that? Oh, that's what my boss told me to do. Well, that's all wrong. You're an idiot. Why are you doing that? You should be better. You're terrible at your job. I'm doing what my boss has me doing. I don't understand. I'm just trying to do what's best for the store as they're telling me. So plant-based burgers are next to the real beef burgers. Oh, they're plants. You should put them in the produce department. It makes sense. People would buy them. They see their kale and they think, hey, instead of eating kale, I'll eat something that looks and tastes like a burger. Because, the people who are already eating plants will just eat more plants. Whereas the people who are already eating beef aren't going to start eating plants that look like beef. Oh, I am so mad at everyone in the world. Football won't become wrestling just because you want it to be wrestling. It's football. Football won't become a soap opera because you want it to be a soap opera. Because it's football. Well, now it's a soap opera and it's wrestling and it's whatever the hell it is, and it's not football, and I effing hate it. And I hate all of you, like I said before. And it's all just dumb and it's stupid. And stop screwing up sports for me. All you people who only sort of like sports a little bit, It's better than just jerking off 17 hours a day. I mean, I still do that too, but I do it while I'm watching sports because now it's the kind of thing I can jerk it to. I still got 5 minutes left. I don't know. You all have any thoughts on that? Or whatever. What's the name of RJ's show? Plug that real quick. And I didn't even know the guy had a show. And there's your answer right there. Epic. Impossible burgers are amazing. Those are the Burger King ones, right? Or are those ones that you bought at a grocery store? You still have to put them on buns, right?
Burger King's Impossible Burgers.
You know what's good? Is the episode of South Park that made fun of Burger King's Impossible Burgers. Hey, you know what a plant I would eat if it were injected into a burger? Yeah, the Burger King Impossible Burgers, you would eat that nonsense. Epic. That makes sense. The Burger King one. Don't even bother trying it, Adrian. Go. You know what? We'll split one time on the show. I actually thought about that because I got a Burger King just down the street. Run over there, eat one, and then throw up on air for all of you. It's actually supposed to be good. But there's something really wrong with eating stuff made out of plastic and plants. They tell us not to eat cheese doodles because there's a bunch of fake stuff in it. Then they make burgers with a bunch of fake stuff in it and tell you it's good for you. You know what? If I'm just going to take the seeds and stems, squash that all down, turn it into a fake burger thing, eat that, because at least I'll feel good while I'm doing it, even if it does taste like complete garbage. The Impossible Burger. You're impossible. That's a stupid punchline. It was the only... Sounds like a bad Full House joke. Impossible Burger, you're impossible. You probably like Fuller House, too. Also, the decarbing, throwing out the buns, is just so stupid.
What if anybody's going to make any hemp burgers?
Yeah, that's what they did in the South Park episode. That's what I'm saying. There's a plant-based burger I can get behind. Make that one, munch all day. Munch on those plant burgers made from hemp. I don't know. So we have a person who likes the Impossible Burger, a person who's never tried one, and I'm on the fence. I find the concept so stupid that even if I like it, I won't like it. Is that a good enough answer for you? Then what? I'm going to have a side of tofu fries and an almond milkshake. How do you even milk an almond? There's no teats on an almond. Idiots. I know. Don't at me. It's almond juice is what it should be called. Ground up almond jizz. Whatever you want to go with. So that's what I got out of this show, is that I hate everyone. The Browns effing suck. The Cavs aren't good. Screw hockey because it's, almond juice. Yeah. Well, they call it almond milk. I mean, it says it on the container. It says milk. It's not milk. It's ground up almonds or some nonsense combined with like coconut juice. Or no, that's not it. Actually, that is put enough vodka or gin in there. It'll taste delicious. Probably. That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to do almond juice white Russians. There we go. Just drown it in ice and Kahlua. That'll make up for it. Oh, you can't have white Russians anymore, though, because then I'd be colluding. They'd rig our election. Because I would vote haphazardly. Honestly, if I drank too much, I'd probably vote for Democrats. It'd have to be in an altered state. That's not true. I'd have to be in an altered state just to vote. Hope you all voted yesterday. Hope that was just as exciting as your Halloweens were. Celebrate Halloween like we're children and vote like it matters. Leave you on that thought, huh? Uh-huh. Yeah. You're a conspiracy theorist and you're just no fun. Yeah, drinking white Russians makes me a racist traitor. But if I drank black Russians, I like to get white Russians and black Russians at the same time and mix them together. I call it an albino. Oh, that's not right. I call it a mulatto. Damn it. That's funny. No, it's not. Because it's milk and Coca-Cola then, and that's just disgusting. So on those notes, off-key notes, should not be played together. You know what? I'd wind up just sticking my wiener in the doll, so we're not doing that. I'm bitter. The thing is I don't hide my bitterness. I allow everyone to know exactly what I'm upset about. So that way, I'm not just letting it just fester inside and eat me apart and be like you. The listening audience, because there's more than just the two of you. It just sounds like it sounds three of you, really. It's Dad and whomever else is watching. Then people catch the reruns. And I'm just directly calling each and every one of them out with their phony happiness. But you too, you might be genuinely happy. I don't know. I doubt it. Warren Brothers Sports Show coming to an end. For executive producer Dad, my brother Paul Warren, and of course, my good friends in the live chat, Epic and Adrian, and anyone else who may have been watching, because actually hit a handful of numbers there. Because you fit 5 fingers on a hand, so at least it was 5. Saw 4 or 6, I don't know. Fluctuates. People tuned in for all of a minute when they saw that I put in the header, Freddie Kitchens fired, and then turned it off right away when they just saw me yelling at a camera. Or it's probably when Paul and I were on the phone. But for all of those people, I've been Mark Warren. And until next time, this time has been the most recent. Thank you and good day.